Welcome to Bottomline Chat. I'm Emerson, and today we're going to talk about WWE losing fans and viewership. So the word on the street is that between Raw and SmackDown, the ratings are dropping. They're not getting the viewership. Apparently, a lot of fans are getting upset. There's so many different factors that probably are contributing to it. The demographics that they're aiming towards, the quality of the creative. So I'm going to touch base on some of the things that I'm really thinking that's causing these problems for WWE right now, and maybe what they could possibly do to correct it. So creative is the biggest thing that I think has to do with their problems. Creative isn't coming up with the proper storylines, so they're coming up with poor planning. Like any business, if you don't plan it out properly, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Now, how do you correct something like that? You got to look at where you're losing the fans. Are they dissatisfied with basically the content? Is it too PG or is it too insulting? They have to basically find out what is causing people to lose interest. Now, I'll tell you this from my own perspective. I really do dislike some of the storylines that they do come out with. These storylines just either don't make sense, or I think they're pushing the boundaries a little too much at times. So, how do you stop that? You got to be really creative. Hence, being in the creative department. You have to think outside the box. You have to look at, what worked maybe in the Attitude Era, not necessarily work now. But if you're aiming towards a certain demographics, which obviously they want to cater to the kids, well, what time are these events at? So if you're trying to make it PG, but the events start at 8 o'clock and they go to 11, you're going to have mostly older people. So I'm not saying you have to go extreme. Like, we're not talking ECW type stuff here, because clearly that was for an adult or young people in their college years type of, age group. But you got to think, people like myself, we've grown up with the Hulk Hogans, the Ultimate Warriors, and then slowly moved into The Rock, the Stone Colds, the Triple H's, the Undertakers, where you had hardcore matches with Mick Foley basically just dripping in blood, Randy Orton dropping him on, thumbtacks. I mean, those are the matches that basically won over the fans from WCW. Now, there's no competition really, because TNA, miles away. They're in a totally different ball game. They have more problems with their creative. And, big time. So, don't follow under the same suit. They need to really dig deep down and go, alright, how can we cater to everyone, but we have to bring back some of this excitement. You hear it in most of those matches that people have, where if they do something crazy, they start chanting the HS chant, because I'm not going to say, just in case there's some young viewers that are going to be watching this video, but they're chanting stuff like that because they are amazed. So if that's what amazes them, if that's what is keeping them on the edge of their seats, why do you only do it sometimes? Okay, a pay-per-view. Now, pay-per-views now go on for a lot longer than they used to. Before it was a couple hours, done, that's it. See you later, bye. Now, you've got WrestleMania that will start, like this past one. It started at 6 o'clock. I believe so. I believe the kickoff was at 6 o'clock. So, and it didn't end until midnight. That's 6 hours of wrestling. That's to someone like me or people that are younger, you know, that's awesome. You're like, yeah, sweet, bring it on. But you're not going to have your, young kids from say 5 to even 13 that would necessarily stay up or be able to follow suit that whole time. I mean, unless you're actually there, but I'm sure those kids are fading or they're falling asleep. You know, it's hard. I mean, I'm not saying this is easy, but they have to really dig down and get the creative back in on track like it was, because it's just, I think that this is why they're losing a lot of their fan base. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking of is obviously poor matches. They come up with some of these matches, like the past pay-per-view at Extreme Rules. How do you do a championship match where it's a total fail? Let them go on. Let them go. Instead, you're using filler matches when you could have used that as a match that, could have easily have gone for a half hour, not 5 minutes. Like, come on. You gotta really think about these matches. Like, a kendo stick on a pole match, that's excitement. And you just blew it. Blew it. Totally butterfingered the ball right out of your hands. That could have been, like, they could have stole the show. I think they could have stolen the show if they had given them the chance. Let Bayley wail on her. I'm not saying that Bayley had to win that match, but drag it out. Draw the people in. Get the fans going, oh, Bayley's got a dark side. Yeah. Get them excited. And then, yeah, okay, all it takes is that one thing, and Alexa Bliss changes the momentum and then wins it. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are fine with that. But not she gets the stick down and doesn't even use it? Come on. Give me a break. And this is where another thing, like I said, they're going to lose the viewership on. Storylines that just are not entertaining. I mean, they're kind of boring. Did they run out of all these ideas from the Attitude Era on? Like, did they tap out the resources already? Clearly, they can come up with storylines that are a little bit more entertaining. I mean, some of them are just, or like, okay, whatever, don't really care. You know, I've had that where I'd be sitting, watching it, and it's like, this match is coming on. I don't even care. And I'll go, and I'll like do something, peek in, see if it's still on. If it's still on, whatever. And then I'll catch the final end of it and go, okay. I won't sit there for it. If I don't find it's entertaining, I'm not going to sit there. Chances are I'll probably fall asleep, and then I'll miss all the good ones. So that's where they have to keep it thrilling with the storylines. They have to keep it, entertaining, funny. But I mean, don't take the funny too far, like they did with the Brazango. Sorry, I almost screwed that one up. Where he comes up with a mop. This is a pay-per-view, people. This isn't Raw, SmackDown, or your Saturday morning wrestling. This was a pay-per-view. And it's like, again, it's just silliness. They don't need to be bringing into the ring. The ring is where they fight. In a pay-per-view. They're there to fight. If you're not going to do it that way, then why even have the match? But, again, that's just my thought of it. Now, the fourth point I have is poor choice of champions. Like, some of the people, I think now, on SmackDown, they've already tossed that belt around to what? Since the beginning of this year, maybe 4 or 5 different people? Whatever happened to, you win the belt, you hold on to it. give it a little bit of a run. Like, they're just handing it over like, okay, it's your turn. It's like a hot potato. Oh, I don't want. Oh, we're gonna pass to this guy. Oh, come on. Guy wins it. He doesn't just lose it like that. You know, like Orton just won it off of Bray Wyatt. Yes, I get you wanted to do something special with Mahal. That's fine. But again, they screwed up on how they did the storyline to it. How he won the match. He shouldn't have won it with the Singh brothers. And I did touch base on that in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen it, watch the Backlash one. But it's just, like I said, it's little things like that where they pick bad champions. They've done it so many times. And it's just, that's where you lose the viewership too. It's because I'm like, I don't want to sit there and watch this guy, you know, champ. He shouldn't even be champ. I've had talks with my friends about that, where we'd be talking and I'd be like, I don't even care. They're so stupid with giving this guy the belt. You know, that's where they gotta look at it. You know, like, I understand you do push wrestlers, you want to see what they can do with you give them the brass ring. Like, I liked when they gave it to Bray Wyatt. I thought, perfect. He wanted it in the right environment. You know, let's see what we could do with it. Then they did the little storyline with him and Orton. I liked it. It was great because I knew it was coming at some point, because there's no way Randy's going to be second fiddle to anybody. He's a main guy. So you knew it was coming, and as soon as I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to cash in. And then he tricked us going, oh no, I'm not going to, which then created that whole controversy for AJ Styles with Shane McMahon thing. So, I mean, that was okay. That was good planning on that aspect. But like I said, just some of them that really, really shake my head on. Now, my fifth point is you got champions that don't defend their titles within that supposed 30-day period. I remember guys getting stripped in the past because, oh, you can't defend it. Or, oh, you're hurt, you can't defend it. Well, what about Brock Lesnar? He wins the freaking belt at WrestleMania. Okay, you want to beat Goldberg. Perfect. All right. Now, where has he been? When was the pay-per-view for WrestleMania? April? Okay. What month are we in now? June. Oh, holy. And he hasn't wrestled. Like, why does he still have the belt? What's the point of having a guy like that doesn't even show up to the show to even have a match with somebody, you know, just even give some guy random, oh, here, I'll give you a title shot, squash him, and that's it. No, he's gone so many pay-per-views now without defending his belt. And I think it's ridiculous. You just had a 5, and this is basically the Extreme Rules. You just had 5 guys that went to war to become number 1 contender, while this guy's been sitting at home chilling with his belt. If you're going to make a guy champion, he's got to defend it. I'm not saying he has to defend it every week, but you got to do it at least once a month. And if they try to give you the whole crap that, oh, well, he's done it at house shows. Oh, give me that baloney crap. Are you serious? Who cares? That doesn't satisfy your viewership. You got people that want to watch it, not at a live event. We want to, okay, don't get me wrong, yeah, a live event that's televised, but I want to see it on TV. Give me a Raw one. Give me a pay-per-view one. I want to see him go to war with somebody. He's the champ. You know, I don't even care if it's some random guy. Oh, I'll take Brock Lesnar on. They could have had so many different other guys that have stepped up to try to take a piece of Brock Lesnar, and yet you've just given him the free pass. Why? Because he's a beast? Oh, we don't want to make him mad. You're not going to wrestle, bud. Hand over the belt. It's bottom line on that. So, like I said, if they're gonna give somebody the belt, they have to defend it at a pay-per-view at least. If you're not gonna do it on a Raw or SmackDown, or even one of those main event ones, if you're not gonna make him defend it on that, then he's got to do it at a pay-per-view. If he doesn't do that, you take the damn belt away from him and say, sorry, bud, back of the line. So there's another thing too that I think they're kind of lacking on is the promos. The promos aren't as entertaining, as strong as they used to. Now they just kind of do interviews and that's about it. You know, where's the trash talking? I want to see more trash talking. I want to see more of stuff like that where they're boosting up their characters, where, you know, you get a guy, who's that? Who's this guy? Where did he come from? You know, sort of like the Elias Simpson. I know he was in NXT. I know he was kind of a wanderer, but who are you? I want to see something that says, hey, listen to my song. You know, like, come up with something. They used to cut those promos all the time, and that's where you used to, like with the Stone Colds and, you know, even the Triple H's, Mick Foley with his little Undertaker, the Kane. Those you remember. I bet you half of these guys now, you'd be like, who is this guy? I don't even know what he's about. Because there's no promos. Cut the promos. You need the promos back. And then, like I said, that whole title change around like hot potatoes, they got to stop with that too. So, I hope WWE really does pull up their socks, because I think they're dropping the ball. And if they keep dropping the ball, they're going to lose the fans, and it's going to turn into a blah. Nothing exciting. And to be honest, if it gets any worse, I'll probably just say I'm not even going to waste my time. And that's sad, because I like watching the wrestling. So, that's my thoughts on what I think what's going on with the fans and viewership dropping ratings for Raw, SmackDown. So, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me your thoughts. So drop the thoughts down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. You'll see some of the other videos I've done. Hope you enjoyed this one. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care.